What's this? The Horseless Knights Cavalry has a present for us. Oh no, wait, it's a letter. It's a past due notice. Apparently, I'm overdue for another Let's Play Elden Ring Intermission episode. My original plan was to record a lot of B-roll and a lot of footage for a beastly long intermission, or at least a lot of small ones. I marked off every item I found on the wiki map. I recorded everything I found, even if it was just so much as a large club. And then as that went on, I realized how painful it was going to be to edit, and also it wasn't going to be very fun to sit through. So instead of stuffing every single thing into these intermissions, this is just going to be stuff that I did off screen that is substantive or interesting in some way. Or if it's for a trophy and that, little excursion I made didn't fit into the main series. Speaking of, plumbing the depths of Tombsword Catacombs. The catacombs are not very interesting, so we're going to skip right past that to the Cemetery Shade, who has, I believe, a necessary spirit ash for the achievement. Utel the Headless, special named one. This was just a pit stop, though. We're going to make another pit stop in Morn Tunnel, which is also long and uninteresting, so we're going to skip to the Misbegotten, where I got that anchor that I've been using for a long time now. Figured you might want to know where that came from. I really like that thing. Also, I like that you can kind of date the batches that I recorded these in based on the armor that I'm wearing. And we're going to make another quick stop at the converted Fringe Tower in Liurnia. This is something that I believe we passed by in the main playthrough, but I don't think we had what we needed to actually solve the tower at the time, which requires the erudition gesture from Thops after you get the key for him to the Academy. Also, when you do that, it lights these Glintstone Academy stone helmets up, which I think is a nice touch. It's kind of amazing to me that a game can be both this broad and this deep on so many different levels. But in this sense, just like the size and scope of the world is so enormous, as we've come to see over and over and over again. But also, it's still so intricately detailed every step of the way, which is what I feel is missing about most open world games. So digression aside, we are now in the sealed tunnels in Altus Plateau, which is long and uninteresting, so we're gonna skip to the Onyx Lord, who gives us his greatsword, and more importantly, access to this divine tower up here in Altus, where we can activate Rykard's Grey Rune. And the effect that rune has when it's active is you restore a bunch of HP when you kill enemies. And now it's time to enjoy some fine art. First off, there's another artist shack in Limgrave with the Homing Instinct painting. Next, we're gonna pop over to the Weeping Peninsula real quick and get the Warhawk Spirit Ashes by turning in the Prophecy painting that we picked up ages ago. And that is right on the cliff near the Church of Pilgrimage. And finally, the Resurrection painting is turned in back here behind Caria Manor. For this, you receive the Juvenile Scholar gear, which is the robes that Renella's Sweetings wear, and a larval tear for their rebirth, or for yours, should you choose to become one. And then we're going to bounce back to the hidden path to the Halec Tree, somewhere we've been a little bit more recently, because there are some nice secrets here, including something important, starting with this drop onto an invisible walkway. It gets you the Silver Scarab plus a little bit more, if you keep going. In fact, the reason why we got the message about the Deathroot the first time we entered this place is because down here you can fight another Mimic Tier, which gets you a Black Flame Monk Spirit Ash, and another Deathroot. That would be the 8th one. So I turn those in.
Strange. There's something else. Bring more.
And Gurranq will eventually go hostile after a couple of them. Well, after a couple of them and a rest. But after you hit him a few times, he calms down. You get a little bit of dialogue from him.
Put it away. won't forget. Again. My appetite. My sin. So please. Enough. Put it away. I won't.
And then, your rewards. Your eternal rewards. Including some beast claws.
I shall grant thee feed me.
I was, however, missing one Deathroot. So I had to pop back to Gelmir Hero's Grave, which is actually a pretty interesting one with some cool things to find. Bloodhound Step tends to get you through the lava very smoothly and easily. The chariot is very dodgeable. There's a lot of little alcoves on the side. It's not a very tight run to any of them. So the initial part down the ramp is not too much of a sweat, especially like a year and a half on after people have discovered how good Bloodhound Step is for dealing with lava. But when you get to the bottom of that lava ramp, you find one of the weirdest and coolest weapons in the game, the Ringed Finger. This will be getting some use in the near future. Bludgeon made of an enormous finger sheathed in several heavy rings, thought to have been cut from an ancestor of the Finger Creeper. Some life yet remains in this legacy of an ancient act of blasphemy, as evidenced by the barely perceptible warmth it still exudes. That thing is loads of fun. I can't believe I actually almost forgot about this. And that's not even the only cool thing you get down here. You can pop over onto the chariot and hop on the platform to ride it back up. Then once you ride it back up, you get the Mantis Blade and a whole bunch of armor sets. And that's more or less the gist of this place. It then loops back around and you can follow the chariot path back up to that boss store that you saw me unlock. This is one of the few heroes' graves where you cannot destroy the chariot. So you don't even have to worry about that. And then the boss in here is just another red wolf. But that's okay, we just came down here for the final Deathroot. And then back to Gurranq, who has one final reward for us and some more dialogue.
It is all consumed. Still, I am not sated. Not nearly sated. America! Is this what it is to sin? Will things never be the same again? Tarnished, my thanks for thy long labor. But I have done all I can in this land. Henceforth, mine appetite shall be my sole companion. Farewell.
And he rounds that off by giving you an ancient dragon smithing stone. And then finally, I just wanted to show the last few missing sacred tears. One of them is out here in the 4th Church of America in the Weeping Peninsula. And then the other one, the final one, is out here in Altus Plateau in another church, but what's really noteworthy here is the thing that we get right before it, because it's the Ash of War lightning ram, so we can electrify ourselves and then roll around like the goats. Further ahead is the Stormcaller Church, with Vinyl Sacred Tear to round out our second, I think, intermission? Folks, I want to thank you all so much. This has been a super chaotic year. This has been a very financially difficult year, personally difficult year. And I just want to thank you all for your support, your patience, your kindness, your compassion, your donations recently for my new computer because my current one is dying. Just all of it. the patience of waiting like a month between every episode. Which, by the way, there are a bunch more in the pipeline. I recorded a lot recently. I might be able to get like 3 more out. That might be ambitious. I'm going to say 2 more out before the end of the year, which will include the end of FromSoftware. And I believe the episode I recorded after that is the end of Ronnie's quest? ? So there's like 5-6 episodes in the tank, and then probably, I'm going to say 2 more to record before we hit Shadow of the Erdtree. Cannot wait to see you for what's ahead as we hit endgame stuff, as we hit post-game stuff, as we hit the DLC. It's going to really pop off. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.